Why do I feel as if I'm about to have my time wasted?
Please allow me to present my research. I promise it won't take but a moment.
Hello, welcome back to more Eternal Strands. Just gonna do some quick chatting here in the camp, and then we're gonna be heading out again. Essentially, we're compiling some research, and we are going to forge a design, see what happens there, and basically we're gonna try to get to nighttime after doing this, unless there is more things to do or something important that happens, those kinds of things, Other than that, we'll just go ahead and compile this codex about the Norian order, which is the Bon Sev, and the I. This is the connection between the Sev and the I should say. That makes more sense. They both wearing this symbol of the Norian order. So the Norian order is a secret organization with representatives allegedly embedded in positions of power at all levels of society across the meta, they have very deliberately kept themselves out of sight and out of mind to great effect. With that in mind, while reading this dossier, it is important to note that much of our body of findings exists through inference due to a conspicuous lack of primary sources, So a lot of guessing, basically. So the order's origins seem to be in the High Kingdom of Taza, where Sev is from. As a sort of trade union for engineers, their expertise in the movement and storage of precious water brought them into a position of great favor and power with the monarchy, upon which they were allegedly absorbed into the kingdom's civil apparatus and dissolved. This is the last time they appear in the historical record. Though from then on there are conspicuous, at least for a lore keeper, gaps which form a pattern suggesting that the order continued to both exist and thrive. Indeed, from our investigations inside the Enclave, it's clear that the Norian order has been active for well over a century. Well, they were responsible for much of the engineering behind the underground network known as the Tapestry, and had privileged access to many of the most sensitive of the Conclave's research projects. Such endeavors must have taken decades. Returning to the circumstances of the order's formation, many organizations of professionals exist across the meta to share and preserve trade secrets and often to moderate prices of services and such. The Lord Keeper's own father was politically adjacent to several Udean trade unions that quietly regulated prices so as not to disrupt the trade, and even more quietly eliminated competitors who refused to play nicely with their rules, given that the Norians must still hold considerable sway in Daza. It is not a leap to imagine that the Order's influence casts a shadow here in the Enclave too. After all, when you control the flow of something as vital as water, you control life itself. This is pure supposition, but perhaps this ambition to exert control led to the Order's name. Norian is a type of water wheel. It uses the flow of a river to turn the wheel, while buckets lift water from the same river to the top of its arc, where it empties into another, higher channel. Thus we have a metaphor in which water lifts itself through its own power, rather apt.
So,
Norians.
I've been digging. The Tarzan trading company that shipped the crates you found was the lead I needed. The Norians were experts in water storage and conveyance, and active before the surge, but disappeared shortly thereafter. Or rather, they wanted to disappear and subsumed their identities into a series of careful fronts, cover names, and the like. Thankfully, the trade record you found led to a whole web of associations, many of whom have had dealings with my family.
Nice. The Norian order has a long history. Ask about their
What
years.
did you find out about the Norians before the surge?
They seemed a somewhat innocuous guild of specialists, traded under different names even then, making them a bit hard to track. But as far as I could tell, they mostly dealt in water.
Dealt, meaning what in this context?
Aqueducts, reservoirs, wells, you name it. If it stored, gathered, extracted, or moved water, they were involved.
That explains the complicated valve I found underground.
Absolutely. They had specialized knowledge, which I assume is why the Enclave contracted them. Gas, such as raw magic, is a fluid after all.
Seb is from Taza, digging into the Norian relationship to the
How is
kingdoms.
the Norian Order related to Taza?
As I'm sure you know, Taza is an amalgam of numerous desert kingdoms.
Of course I knew
Surge,
that.
Taza had grown reliant on the same weather control enchantments that were used in Judea. After the surge, both nations suffered greatly. Taza in particular was struck with savage droughts.
Meaning folks, like the Norians, who specialize in water, had essential skills and knowledge.
I expect they were critical in keeping Taza's many cities alive at all, a position that would afford them considerable influence.
It's strange an order would be so public and disappear. Ask if Laen
Do you
knows
have
the
an idea
reason.
why they decided to hide?
Purely conjecture, but let's look at the evidence. We know from Sev's ring that the Norians are still around today.
It could be a trinket, or hand-me-down.
Which is
But
what
you're
he
right,
said
that
it
his
was.
behavior with the
Family
others
heirloom
suggests
of
they're
sorts.
associated.
Exactly. Now consider the Order's secretive nature. Combined, I would speculate that the Norians used the surge as leverage to become a power behind the thrones. Take a nation that used magic to keep the water flowing, face it with disaster and drought. What kind of deals might a group of desperate rulers be willing to make, do you think?
But monarchs wouldn't want anything that undercuts their authority or power to slip out to the populace.
As I said, pure conjecture, but if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck...
I need to know how Laen was able to reference their family business from here. Ask.
How did you get logs of your own family's accounts, anyway?
I stole them.
Really?
Oh yes, detailed transactions from private ledgers. No one quite sure if you made copies or where they're hidden if you did. Better than bodyguards when it comes to ensuring one's safety. I did not leave my family under the best auspicious.
Well, smart, I guess. I feel like I know enough about the Norians. Move on.
Knowing what we know now, what do we do about Sev?
I believe we can say for sure that he and the Eye are somehow related through this Norian organization. From Sev's visits to the Hold, I imagine they're working together on something, but I'm
Loomgate
not
water.
exactly what else to do with that information.
I gave Sev some help collecting materials. He's definitely working on some kind of project. He asked me to trust him. Maybe it's time to ask for that favor in return.
A good idea. Speak to Sola first, though. I've updated her, and she might have some ideas on how best to confront him.
Thanks for your help, Laen.
It's no trouble at all. This is what I do, and I rather enjoy it.
Hell yeah, Laen. And I craft a thingamajig. Oh no. You don't know what I did because I did this in between the episode, but I upgraded a weapon and I was like, yeah, it doesn't use Serenite. Guess what it used? It used Abrium. Oh no, Reforge. And of course it is my weapon that my favorite weapon that I used. Okay, maybe it is time to change weapon then. So I'm going to dismantle that shit. I've used it for a while. And I have this as well. I think so Ascending Strike is on it. Which means that it could be the same weapon, essentially, right? I don't know. What do we do about it? I don't know either. I'm just gonna keep adding nice things to it. With that, we get cold resistance on it. Well, then, this is what we're doing then.
Elegant.
Look at that. Bam. So, that means we have this. Okay. I mean, we did have some additional good stuff on it. So probably the damage is very similar at this point, but you know, without the upgrade, I guess. I didn't have anything else with that, right? I guess I could have checked that too. Looks like no. So we're gonna say goodbye to our wonderful weapon here. And we're gonna use this instead. Because of reasons. Okay. Let's follow the quest first.
Sev. What are we
Okay.
going to do
All
with
good,
him?
all good. All
You
good.
know him better than me. Can we trust him?
I hope so. But it's pretty obvious Sev is being pressured by the Eye due to their Norian connection. And I do not trust him. Anyway, what did you learn from helping Sev?
He's either constructing or repairing something that requires exotic materials.
As I said, it reminded me of how he fixed the gate in the Hollow. I would wager the Eye heard about our exploits.
For sure, for sure.
Could be.
He's a clever one, our Ram. There's really only one thing for it.
Direct confrontation.
We're going to let him know we care. Then we're going to let him sit with it. Wait for me in the hold. We'll talk to him there. Away from the others.
Okay,
So he
okay.
doesn't feel like we're ganging up on him.
So, let's scrap this thing then. Oh, what a disaster. Advice that is capable of tracing patterns on a mantle and comparing for blood relation between metal weavers.
We have
Boom.
a pattern tracer. It's time to head to Cassidy's hold.
Okay. So you wanna go to the hold. I also checked here, by the way. So we're still missing upgrades here. We still have to progress the story. So we still have a little bit left, apparently. So Act 4 might be quite long then. Let's see. What are we doing? Burning curiosity. The mantle. Let's do the mantle first then. Which is on the way.
Arakim mentioned you wanted to compare a mantle with Matteo Agretius?
We'd like to see if he might be my father.
All right. I've set his mantle aside for you. I'll need yours too, and the pattern tracer to perform the test.
You all right?
A little nervous.
I have to say, your mantle is spectacular. Matteo's easily pales in comparison.
Huh. Interesting.
Thank you. And, is he my father?
No, I'm sorry. It's not a match.
Oh. I see.
Hey, we'll keep looking. Maybe now it's time to talk to Laen?
Maybe.
You're right. We should consult with them. I just thought... Silly. I'll see you back at camp.
Well.
Hello, Sebastian.
Solar. Rim. Hello?
Hey. Listen, we just have something to say. Shh. You're good. Just listen for a second, okay? We know the Eye has you working on some project. We know you two have some kind of connection, and we want you to know it's okay.
Sev needs to know that we have his back. That's what Sola said to do, right? I want him to, and we're aware of the Norians, crack a joke about the Eye. Sev has always wanted out of the Enclave. Recognize that desire. No, how would that? Listen to what Sola says, okay?
Solar's right, big guy. And if you need help, or if something's happening you're not comfortable with, you tell us, okay? We came in here as a team, and nothing's going to change that.
Exactly. Anytime you need to talk, apprentice of mine, you know where we are. And we'll listen.
We will listen.
I don't know what to say.
You'll know when it's time. We'll see you at camp, okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, afraid not. Clear the air through direct confrontation. Interesting.
The Axel mentioned you were asking about my dear friend, Matteo Agretius.
You were close?
Matteo was a great man. In the aftermath of the surge, he went back for families that couldn't evacuate to Nevron. Sadly, he passed away a few years ago. You were comparing mantles to see if there might be a family relation?
Aurea was hoping he might be her father, but it turns out he's not.
Unfortunate. What an impressive lineage she would have.
Care about the lineage, eh? That's all you care about, Okay. Oh, where is she? Oh, it's here. Why are you standing here? Okay. Now let's go... Bastion... And... Lower Dynera. Where exactly was it? Traverse Gate and the Yard. We've got a living flame there, and an arc. Wintertide there. Okay. Actually need both of them, I think. Well, maybe this is the time. And add that. It's not like full of ice or fog this time. Maybe a bit easier to run around it. Yeah, over there or no? Ah, here. I think it has the same attack actually. Yeah, I was noticing that. I was like, oh, okay, then it's super fine to just change it, right? Did you get on the staff, for example? Ah. Come on, I can do that. Aye. Yeah. All good. This is fine. Okay. There's one on the other arm, not this one, right? So much easier when you know what you're doing, isn't it? And then so this leg, the other leg. Easy peasy. And then up there. Okay, so easy.
stand for your mantle.
And then that will be fully upgraded as well. Easy peasy. Well, that was a bad idea.
That's as far as I can push the scry.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay.
Can't stretch the scry any further.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's see. Let's see. Over here, eh?
A detailed list of all scries exported from the Enclave. Some marked pending.
Perfect for cross-referencing in our little hunt.
Let me go
This must
back.
be where the military stored supplies and weapons before the surge.
Is this the easiest way to go? Yeah, no? Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did last time. Bring it this, then down. Okay, well, not the fastest way out for sure, but I'll take the win here. What's this? Teleport back to camp or something, right? That's what it is. And then, so the perch. Ooh. I feel like the text was just there, and I might grab it. We'll see. Traverse gate, yeah. Try the opposite. I'll run into Mr. Wintertide on the way. I know we can teleport, but I like traversing in this game, so you know, you're gonna have to deal with that. Even when this is the result of my traversing.
Used to regale me with stories about the Ironwalk after a long day at the smithy.
Artisans, metal workers, and crafters also had stands here, though the smiths were by far the draw for travelers.
I feel like I'm going the right way for the winter time, dude. There we go, yeah. Just listening to the footsteps. Abrium. equilibrium. Okay. Oh boy. Excellent start.
Hold on, hold on.
That was actually funny. I need to close at least, yeah. And I just wanted to reset my health, you know? You know what I mean? Huh. You know, I actually didn't think he was picking me up there. Interesting. Okay. Okay. See there? I don't feel like he is hitting me. No, I get it. Okay, let's get on top finally. No. No. I think this guy is my nemesis. I really struggled with the Ashbring Drake in the first time. I had no idea what I was doing. But you know. Progress, progress, progress. No! You see? See? No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. No, get away. Where are the health potions? Ay. Okay, now. Okay. Okay. Go, please. No. Yatta. Okay. Come on. It's okay. It's okay. Yatta. Oh.
Could always use more frost magic.
So satisfying. No, that's a random. That's pretty okay. That was okay. This one. Oof. Something underneath. No. Oof. I don't think I ever have to beat Arc of the Wintertide again now, based on my understanding, unless there is like some kind of additional upgrade I'm not aware of.
Detailed lists of every caravan to move in and out of the city.
Before the surge, the Enclave was a trade hub. This is one part of why they were so successful.
This way, no?
Laen and I should be able to parse them quickly enough.
It is this way, right?
See if any scries were due to go out.
And then to the left. Yeah. Let's head back then. I have time. Yeah. All good. There's another ice tail if I go to Starlight Cape. And then there's another Arc of the Nova and after that I go. Have I really done everything? Yeah. Archons start at night. I think it's fine to wait with them because I have more things to do. So shouldn't it be alright? Afternoon. Where there is smoke.
I was really hoping we'd find my father among the statues, but it's time to expand the search. You were right, Laen.
I often am.
Yeah.
Let's build a census of male Oberon in the Enclave within a limited time frame that makes sense for your birth. Knowing your father had to have been here when the veil went up narrows our search significantly.
Time to chase a paper trail. Between the two of us, we'll find your father.
Yes.
She wants to find her father among the heroes. Tell her it's okay to be disappointed. Maybe she's worried she won't like what we find. Reassure her. Something seems off. Ask her if she's okay. Yeah, because is that what Laen was saying before? You know, like the thing is that people that were on the statues might be. I think I was saying that second. Might be the ones that were close to the eye and friends high up. Or just like we're very powerful in other ways, like her mother maybe, right? So, could be a bit complicated. Reassure her.
Listen.
What is it?
But
Statue
could
or
indeed
no
be a
statue?
hero, right?
I'm sure your dad was every bit the hero that your mom said he was.
Our archival work might not be the most glamorous way to chase down a lost relative, but it is effective.
You're right.
Research on magical exports and privileged information. At the behest of Arakim, a half-sider and ally, we delved into the matter of how the Enclave handled export of their rare constructions, such as the Scries and the Aorist. While the ultimate goal of our investigation was locating a caravan that we believe never left the Enclave, some additional details and patterns emerged that were worth exploring. Using our recovered caravan and export logs as a basis and continuous investigations contingent on the actual ascent, we traced an intriguing pattern. The Enclave was scrupulous about balancing their efforts between the other nations. If one nation had an excess of enchantment, there would be any favorable deals negotiated with the other nations, often of limited duration, to trigger a sense of urgency in the prospective buyer. Similarly, when trade has slowed, a powerful nation might be given a nudge to reduce tariffs to increase their escalation of enchanted armaments and augmentations. Furthermore, and similarly unknown to the Enclave's extensive trade network, all evidence points to a coordinated, delicate escalation in these tactics over time. What's unknown to us is if that was purely an economic plan, or if some deliberate creations of dependency, where any nation risking sanction and losing trade ties by threatening the Enclave would be given pause by knowing their neighbors would have a distinct technological edge. In the latter, it would certainly match with initiatives we've seen in attempting to attract the best and brightest in ethics artisans and enchanters to dine everyone's halls. Control the innovators, and you will always hold a technical edge, unless your society is devastated by a magical disaster, that is. But what are the chances of that, right? Addendum Orias has ordered me to note here that the chances of the above are very high.
I think we can call that as close as we're going to get.
I agree. Good news, Arik. It's likely your caravan didn't leave.
You're sure?
Reasonably. We know which caravan was carrying a sealed case of two scries from the Keep records.
There's no log of it departing, and the logs were quite consistent after the surge.
And the Axel had several older drovers who told stories of caravans that lost control of their beasts in the panic. More than a few, sadly, pitched their entire caravan into the newly formed fissure in the lower city.
The runners would have recovered anything that important years ago were it still by the gate.
Suggesting the scries might have gone over the edge. Bryn, I hate to ask, but
I can take a look. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
just be careful. The tangles get thick down there.
Investigate. Where did I never again? Ooh, talk.
I heard you and Sola confronted Sev in the hold. Everything, go well?
Sola did most of the talking. Handled it well. And then she used his full name to make her point.
Whoa.
Oh,
Whoa.
poor guy. Well, whatever's happening, it's got the Eye excited. He's been moving supplies to the Grand Gate, and Sev's been seen down there too. It's a loom gate large enough for the Great Arcs. I'm still not sure why. He's seconded some enchanters and crafters and sworn them to secrecy. They basically live in a camp down there.
Might be trying to repair it. Sev has a knack for understanding how to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, but why? It bothers me. No one seems to know except the Eye.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that would be something to tell people, right? Especially the leading people, like the
How are you feeling
Spindle
about our talk with Sev?
and the Axel.
Surprisingly good. If there's one thing I know, it's when people are really listening. And that young man knows how to listen. He'll do what's right.
Alright, say so. Going to say anything for now? Okay, fine. Upgrade. More damage and deals more damage. Yeah. And this one fully up. More health and deals more damage. More bigger explosion. Very good. Publish information.
Ever since we learned of the verdant mines, I haven't been able to stop thinking about them. They were clearly well resourced in regards to both labor power and knowledge. And they had an extremely intimate knowledge of the Enclave's technology. But I've just connected the dots. We've actually met someone who was around to see their rise and fall. Kenrick Stanild, the Eye, interim leader of the Enclave for upwards of 35 years.
Huh. Now that you mention it.
I don't know if he was involved with the events surrounding the Verdant Mine's attempt to take down the Veil, but he certainly bore witness.
So what are you thinking?
I'd like to send you out on a fact-finding mission for now. Meanwhile, I'll pore over my existing research for clues.
Gotcha. I'll be back when I found everything you're after.
Thanks, Bryn. I'll get to work here, too.
Oh, yeah. So I got some quick things to do, I think. Let's see. So we got the Lost Caravan. We have to wait until nightfall to do a few things, right? So, a couple things in Laverdine Avron. Oh, Linwood Hollow. Oh my god, we're actually going to Linwood Hollow. Bastion, always back to Bastion. Yeah, Linwood Hollow, Laverdine Avron. Treasures. And Dredgewood Mire as well. And so basically this is gonna be run, getting almost nothing. In terms of fights, gonna be super duper collection time. Basically, the goal is to get to night anyway, but you know, see how it goes. Oh. something this way. What? Or not? What? I hadn't been down here before. Huh. Did not realize that.
Census records. The pivotal piece of the puzzle, as Laen would say. Others might call them dull.
Run, run, run. Is it that cave or is it a different cave? Guess I can go up here. Whoa. Nice. Good. Temporary construct. Yeah, firing bolts of magic scope is careful, but will absorb hidden polarity to change the nature of the savage. Lock the scope into a particular eminent by using one of her abilities directly upon it. Okay. Okay, so frost, well, we'll do frost and blah 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 blah. Make it behave in specific ways. Yeah, cool. Oh, this guy seems a bit upgraded, doesn't he? I don't know. They're fully armored now.
A list of vendors. Maybe Oria's father is among them. My old point, Aaron, used to boast he could sell an Oberon their molted feathers. Ugh.
And then... do you go back? Maybe I can take the same route again. Because I can go down the Sodom route. I can aside Sodom Pass or something. Was it in here? Yeah, no? Faster this way. Dialogue choice doesn't influence the outcome of the story, but it influences Marine's personality, whether she's supportive or more, annoying. Let's see. Triggers my Very that way, yeah.
Cipher looks familiar. I'll need to get these back to Laen.
Let me open the chest in there, please. No, okay, fine. The Archons expands over there, okay. Making some serious speed here, I feel like. I spent so much time running around this place in search of potions because of the whole Drake situation in the beginning. Apparently I haven't been up here because there is something there that is very much of interest. Varentia below. Yeah. There's all the orcs that were defeated during the uprising of the Surge model, I guess. Well, I would know a bit more about what the hell happened. Didn't think anyone was alive in the beginning either, right?
Let's see what we've got here. These all seem to be speeches that the Eye delivered. These are dated 40 years ago, but I could still imagine him saying all of these things today.
And then we need to go to a shrine. So I guess one question is that we actually are walking around a little bit. Is whether we actually trust Seb or not, or, you know, like if this order is as secretive as it seems to be, whether he's just really good at acting. No? We wanna trust Seb, right? I mean, still, like, is very, like, stereotypically not that character in terms of, like, build, you know, what you imagine when you see either a spy or an overly anxious blacksmith, you know, right? Or any kind of, like, just big, bulky boy. It's one of the most interesting things about this game. It doesn't give a shit about that, those sort of things. Bastion, again.
The Bastion. Laen said to look for regiment records.
So. Up. So I don't know, what do you think about all these different areas we've seen in the game? Because I, for one, really like them. I have to say And this is what reminded me of sort of like asking or like querying a little bit about this, right? Is that Bastion is probably one of the ones I like the least. And I don't really know why. I just feel like I think I know why. The reason is that there's only one entry point all the time, so I feel like I'm just running where I need to run, where I need to go here, and that I always have to go back to the same spot. So like regardless of where I'm going back to where I started, which kind of sucks in a way. And I feel like the developers heard me say that, and now I have another room gate here. So that's literally my biggest problem with Bastion, just suddenly addressed randomly. So I guess I have to just to like keep the complaint. I have to like say, oh, you should have forced me to go to this loom gate sooner or something. What the hell? That's really good. Then okay. Nice. Okay. Nice. Because also one of the main reasons. Wait. Second main reason I asked to do because I really like the last one that we went to, which is called, what's it called? We don't have it here anymore. It's not Archon's Heart. I know how to see this here. The one with the observatory and Arc of the Nova. That was such a nice spot. And being able to like go out to all the different sections too, sort of gave it a bit more personality.
These are the regiment records Laen asked for. My father told me stories about how instrumental the Oberon were in the wars for Carnhaven's independence. They would glide behind enemy lines and strike with precision.
Okay, here we go. Nothing else here. I want to go on top here while we are here. Nice. Okay. And then I jump into this loom gate, which is close and not where I came from. Lower down from. Except from the push. I think I started from the push last time, but then before that I was starting from the other, completely other side other time, so it was quite nice, honestly. This is what again, that was the problem. With Three Sisters, we were That was the problem with the Bastion. Sisters, Weavers, no, Rest and Resistors. Okay. And here we're basically going to the middle, so then I can exit the other way if I feel like it, you know, just like that. Freedom! Even though the zones are restricted in some ways, you know, it's just makes it a bit noisier, doesn't it? This is why I can't wear any other weapon than this. Or any weapon that doesn't have ascending strike, I guess. The other quest will be quest rest here. Yeah, here. Around. Did they hit each other there? Yeah, totally on purpose.
Here's something. Let's see. It seems to be information on Lucia's various projects. There
Lucia
are
again, huh?
or redactions here. Seems like someone is trying to hide something.
Why do I get that? Three Sisters is over there. Weird. Just do this one first then. This way.
Should be close to where the scry-carrying caravan might have gone over the edge.
I'll have a look. Good news, Eric.
I can see. That's quite possibly our lost scries.
Will you be able to retrieve it?
Now that we've identified it, yes.
Hell yeah. Why does it say? Okay. So weird. Up there. This dragon. Is he going to remind me why I don't like it? Okay. No. Maybe he's helping me heat up the place. Make up for all the other shit.
Supposedly, this explosion was the cause of the second miasma floods. But we know that the floods were caused by Asylum. This doesn't add up.
Okay, let's go to Broker's Arch. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. South Wall. South Wall Way Station. Night time. I'll definitely have to talk to Laen here. Compile some codices. Oh my god, a lot of more on tangles. Swirling with eerie, compelling beauty, tangles are dangerous and environmental hazards that must be avoided at all costs. These physical manifestations of raw magic were first observed concurrent with the first sightings of the whale, and both brothers giving their name in a fit of poetic inspiration. Unfortunately, our wayward band's leader, Aurea Silverbeak, was badly wounded by a brief contact with a tangle on our way into the Enclave. I doubt her feelings on them are quite as flowery as the Tanagle's nomenclature. In the wake of our ingress through the Veil, we can additionally confirm that these localized concentrations are present throughout the Enclave and pose a hazard to local wildlife, though their ultimate source remains unclear. While it remains unknown, we understand generally what tangles are formed from an excess, and they are formed from an excess of raw magic, like Stormfront gathers clouds as the temperature drops. They collapse and coalesce, remain localized for some time before dispersing. The working theory is that the Enclave's famed excess of magic, which first drew weavers to these lands, has been concentrated beyond its natural levels by the Veil. To return to the previous metaphor, it seems to have built up the raw magic equivalent of a humid environment, leading to the formation of tangle, some of which persisted at all times. Others seem to come and go, like fog and clouds, only appearing when these conditions are right. At the Ice University, the Enclave leveraged its considerable wealth and influence to become a premier destination in many ways, but the Ice University was one of the notable weak points. Falling far behind most of the rest of the monetized institutions in prestige. Interesting. The Ice University is the Ice University. So I would assume they have like the best things, no? From research and contemporary sources, it is clear that the university was strapped for funding. Several accounts mention fiscal resources being redirected in favor of bringing new specialists into the Guild of Enchanters. We were also in possession of several petitions to move the university propelled into Dynevron. Position to move the university, probably into Dynevron, all denied, citing concerns over available space and rowdy students spoiling the peace. While the Ice University allowed to study in a reasonable breadth of subjects, it clearly suffered from a lack of interest, pride, and funding. For comparison, the Collegium of Florentia, even after Judea's crisis, would put the enclaves to shame. And to set aside my personal biases, I would make similar claims of the Academia Voluntas, Sansa Scholara Imperium, or even the High Seminary of Renland in Doncaster. Anyway, though the latter's approved fields of study are obviously more limited than others. Sorry, heard dank stuff only. Auburn and the Enclave. The gregarious Auburn culture is influential across the Maida and corners of the Ram, who tend to keep to themselves. The Auburn have easily integrated themselves into the daily life among Castle, Ashar, and Kashar. Extensive census data discovered by our pointing indicate that the Enclave was no outlier in this regard, though this research was initiated to investigate our watcher's lineage, and successfully identified 3 candidates for her patriarch. Pardon my boasting. It seems a shame not to compile the findings for her archive as well. Auburn participated in all aspects of life in the Enclave, notably Auburn, such as Sharian, Harpinay, and Matteo Agratis were memorialized statues as famed contributors to the Enclave's success. In addition to this, Auburn frequently held. So the other one is that's her. I'm confused now. I don't know why I thought she was mixed or something. But I think Sharian Harpinay then is her mother now. In addition to this, Auburn frequently held influential seat in the Enclave's government, as well as offered important contributions to their military, despite its small size. Indeed, they were in fact overrepresented in the Scouts' Corps. Their unique physiological attributes were clearly considered particularly useful for the Scouts' duties. Fly here, is it? Of course, racism against Auburn. Yes, of course. You have to do this because you have to do it. Of course, we can't do anything else. Of course, Auburn were assimilated into the civilian populace and economy as well. From what we can tell, their presence in the Enclave did not dilute their unique cultural identity. Okay, nor their age-old cultural divide around their controversial practice of clipping their wings. Their age-old cultural divide around the controversial practice. They couldn't do the scouting thing. Definitely not then. A contemporary etching, satirical in nature, depicts rich Auburn so wholly consumed by indolence that his untrimmed feathers reached the ground, causing him to trip over them. Unrealistic, to be clear. That is not how feathers work.
What have you got for us, Laen?
I've narrowed it down to 3 likely candidates. A Hallowpire priest, a farmer, and the last military commander prior to the evacuation to Cassidon's.
It's gonna be the farmer.
A military commander sounds promising. How do we narrow down which of those 3 is my father?
That's where we step away from the books and do some investigating. Bryn?
Right?
I'll check the garrison, the market, and the Hallowpire Rise for any traces of these Auburn.
Damn, a lot to do, eh? Laen. More codex compiling. The Verdant Minds. The Verdant Minds were a militant group formed after the search by a group of subversive academics and other hangers-on. Their main goal was to take down the Veil, as they strongly believed that Kenric Stanile's administration was holding back vital information about the search. led by enchantress by the name of Lucia. Their goal was to sabotage various complex enchantments, including hijacking or disabling archons. They achieved this by using Lucia's high rank to steal information from the Enclave's most highly guarded research lab, and her information from her research is how we were able to open the asylum, right? Their most notorious moment, and also their final moment, was when they attempted to bring down the Veil. Their reliance on faulty intelligence proved their downfall, and the group was wiped out, Lucia excluded by a huge explosion that additionally claimed the lives of dozens of innocent bystanders. It's not clear exactly what caused the explosion, but Lucia's journals from around the time place heavy blame on the Eye. The entries include allegations both that he knew both of the Verdant's mind's plans and that he was aware enough of specifics that he knew they'd fail catastrophically. Yes. Below is an illustrative excerpt of one of Lucia's journal entries. I washed my hands of it, but they pressed onwards. He was fully aware of what I thought of them, of course, what I'd taken from the labs, and so he let it happen. He knew they were going to try to pierce the Veil, and now dozens are dead. He knew Will broke bread with them, and they and the rest of the Verdant minds went off to die. Kenrick just watched. The Will character mentioned above seems to have been a member of the diplomatic corps who transitioned into academia after the role was nullified by the cessation of diplomatic activity post-surge. Will was well known to the Eye, given their position, and several of Lucia's writings referenced them positively. Shortly after the incident, the Eye delivered a series of speeches blaming the Verdant minds for triggering the cyclical miasma floods, which he now know were caused by the asylum. An excerpt is included below. I speak to you in the aftermath of the tragedy. It is now clear to me that the remains of our society has been infiltrated by those who would do us harm. We will root out these incentive vermin at all levels of administration. Their ideology has claimed too many lives to be allowed to breathe free. In the meantime, to ensure peace and prosperity, martial law is in effect across remaining settlements. While ideological cleansing is ongoing, council elections will be suspended outside of pressing matters, such as the death of a council member. Given the above, it is clear that the downfall of the Verdant minds was part of a larger political gambit by the Eye to seize additional power. Boom!
So what did we find out? Any big revelations? What's wrong?
This isn't what I expected at all. I think you need to read this yourself.
Well, sure, but... Alright. This is one of Lucia's journals, right?
Yes.
I washed my hands of it, but they pressed onwards. He was fully aware of what I taught them, of course. What I'd taken from the Institute. And so, he let it happen. He knew they were going to try to pierce the Veil, and now dozens are dead. He knew Vile. Broke bread with them. But when they and the rest of the Verdant minds went off to die, Kenrick just watched.
I think she said it better than me.
A transcript of one of his speeches, delivered around the same time that journal entry was written.
We will root out these dissenter vermin at all levels of administration. Their ideology has claimed too many lives to be allowed to breathe free. In the meantime, to ensure peace and prosperity, martial law is in effect across remaining settlements. So he let the explosion happen, and used it for his own political gain. Wow. He's a real piece of work.
He didn't exactly engineer this, but he isn't innocent either. He sat back and allowed the Verdant minds to try breaking through the Veil. Then they unintentionally triggered a huge explosion, conveniently wiping themselves out in the process. And just like that, the Eye had a scapegoat on whom to blame the cyclical miasma floods. He used panic and fear to secure himself a spot as provisional leader. But everyone eventually forgot that provisional bit. I genuinely didn't expect this at all. I thought I'd find out that he'd just been mildly conniving all his life, not this.
So, what do we do about this then?
We need to confront him. He may be the Enclave's leader, but we can still take him to task on what he's covered up.
Wait, what? You really think that'll work?
Yes. I'll present him with our evidence, and he'll have to give us an explanation.
I'm open to the idea. But what makes you think he'll want to speak to us?
I'm confident in my powers of persuasion. I may be young, but a lifetime spent orbiting the seats of power in Judea. Well, let's just say that I know how to appeal to a politician's better judgment.
Well, I trust your judgment.
Excellent. I'll finish writing this dossier and I'll meet you in Cassidon's Hold. Have faith.
It's not you who I'm lacking faith in. Trust me.
Namely.
Anyway, I'll see you at the Hold.
I won't be long.
Alright, Kim, what do you want to do with the
I can't
disgrace?
believe we actually did it. It's been a pleasure working with your band. If we could match the drive and efficiency you all show, this place would be fixed in months.
Being a good ally, let him know it's mutually beneficial. The kind of thing is why I'm going to share that with him. I'm glad to be taking risks instead of peace people. Let him know it's okay.
I know
Yeah,
you've got
that's
folks
a good
newer
one.
at this than me. And they need time to spread their wings. I don't mind pitching in when it's for a good cause.
Entirely true, and entirely appreciated. I'll get the runners on hauling that crate up, and let you know when I know more.
Yeah. Serious progress, serious progress. Hey, Casmi. Ready for it?
I've been reading over those caravan logs you brought
Ah.
in, Eric.
A little light reading before bed?
They do help me sleep. You know how important that is.
Yes, yes.
The Enclave had 3 secrets to their trade success. These logs are good insight into how they leveraged that.
Seems keen to tell me, ask her to lay it out for me. Hell
And
yeah.
you would very much like to tell me about how they did it, right?
You might only be asking because you have a giant crush on me and know I want to tell you, and that is adorable. Yes, I do want to tell someone, so brace yourself. So, the 3 keys to their success, right? The first was no wars. The Enclave never fought. Instead, they made it clear with loom gates and the arcs that messing with them was tactically doomed.
So they could trade with everyone, even 2 nations at war with one another.
That was their second key. Unique products. The Enclave was the only place producing their enchantments. Try to declare a trade sanction against them for trading with your foe, and suddenly your foe has an edge you just lost.
That's a deft bit of maneuvering.
Their third key was having access to land and sea trade routes. Renland and Taza both relied on Enclave trade by land. Either one attempting to cut off caravans would provoke a response from the other. And the Enclave's north was unassailable by sea. That's why they built Cassidon's Hold.
Sharing trade knowledge is your happy place, isn't it, Kaz?
Oh yes. And do you know there's another place that's got 2 of these 3 advantages?
Where?
Your home, Calnhaven.
We don't have access to sea trade. And I wouldn't say we're at peace either. But you're thinking of our steel.
Best in the Maida. And you're the only people who know how to make it. Not only that, but while the Empire would love to put you back under their heel, they can't, can they?
No. Because we've started trading with other nations like Renland, who wouldn't want to lose access.
Very
That's
interesting.
peace.
So all we need is a port, and we could be Enclave the Second?
Pretty much. I'm sure your leaders,
The Adelrad.
right, are aware of that. Probably the Empire too. Just fascinating how history repeats.
If we ever get out of here, I'll talk to my mother about this. Show her life on the roads helped me learn some things.
We'll get out. And when we do, I want to meet her. Tell her how great her daughter is.
Yeah. Alright, Jasmine. Yeah, there won't be any more strands because he can't be upgraded anymore. So, okay, cool.
Farn Stanhope seems like a loss.
Oh, did I interrupt it? Okay, it seems like I did. President's Hold. Ah, this animation. So good every time. We are finishing off quite a few companion quests, though I'm noticing, or like making serious progress on them, or enough progress to give us achievements and these things. So that is noticeable in terms of like getting closer towards the end of the game.
Why do I feel as if I'm about to have my time wasted?
Please allow me to present my research. I promise it won't take but a moment. I've compiled a dossier concerning an event that occurred in the Enclave around 35 years ago.
And what event would that be, pray tell?
The attempt to pierce the veil. I can only assume you were familiar with the Verdant Mines.
The name rings a bell, though it's been decades, as you said.
They were the subject of many of your speeches. It's interesting that your memory on the subject is hazy.
You'll forgive me for not remembering the exact wording or subject of any of the hundreds of speeches I've delivered throughout my career.
That's not a problem. I can summarize my findings. Firstly, our evidence suggests, with a high level of confidence, that you were aware of the Verdant Mines' plans to pierce the veil. Secondly, in support of that assertion, you gained this knowledge through your close relationship with the enchantress known as Lucia.
I never knew any enchantress by that name.
That's odd, since you seem to have been a recurring character in her personal journals. Though, truth be told, she didn't seem particularly fond of you in the later entries. So, back to the attempt to pierce the veil. You knew...
I knew that it would go poorly.
You knew?
Of course I did. But what does it matter?
You could have stopped it.
But I didn't. Pray tell, Lawkeeper, what goal did you hold in your mind as you traveled here?
I wanted to learn the truth about the past, to uncover what had been hidden.
Laen Free Selectus. That's who you are, yes?
That's correct. Though, I'm not sure how... never mind. But my research...
House Lectus of Judea. It's no wonder you felt the need to make something of yourself. Well, today will not be that day. Nor, I believe, will any. I won't waste my breath debating a jumped-up little snot from a house so consumed by cupidity that it can't even keep its hearts lit. Once a failure of a house, always a failure of a house. And it shows in your insipid rag parading as research.
Did you just call me a jumped-up little snot?
No, I didn't. You must have misheard me.
I...
Will that be all from you? I have other matters to attend to.
I'm gonna give him the dressing down of the century. What the hell?
Skies!
Yeah.
That is enough. Laen deserves better than this disrespect.
You dare to speak of respect? You, who broke into our home, who undid Asylum, who attempts to destroy decades of societal progress.
I'm trying to help rebuild the Enclave, not destroy it. Self-important jerks like you aren't helping.
I have single-handedly held back the tide of oblivion. I'm not self-important. I'm a damned hero. You and your lackey will remove yourselves from my presence, or I'll call the guards.
Bryn, thanks, but it's not worth it. I need to go.
Skies above. I was worried this would happen.
This guy is just getting worse and worse. Okay, I'm going to check whether the day progresses when I don't want the day to progress. Right? Act 5, okay, I thought Act 4 was the last. Well. Okay, well, I'm gonna use this note. So, no progress on the day, please. We're still at night. Very good. Laen, you alright?
I can't even begin to explain how I feel. This is a disaster.
Did I make it worse?
No. No, not at all. Not for a moment. You were very kind and strong and supportive and courageous. It reminded me of why I left.
Home.
Everything back there was all about your house. Your actions or intent never mattered. And when I tried to forge a different path in life, the knives came out. I had no real choice but to leave. I thought I had left it all in my past, but now, here we are.
It's not about me. Oh, that's true. Okay, that is true. Yeah. Relating is... I like that part, but... Oh, it is a really interesting, actually. Huh. I think, like, most people do this in terms of, like, this very normal reaction. Like, oh, you're trying to relate to this, but then also that brings attention away from the person, right? That is trying to... Huh. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I think this is the right thing to do. It's not about me. It's not anything
I'm
to do.
really sorry, Laen. It must be hard to be reminded of that. Do you want to talk about it?
I think I need a little while to consider my next move. Maybe a long while. Sorry.
That's all right. I'll be here when you need me.
Thanks, Bryn.
Damn. Fucking beach. Fucking beach. I don't like the eye yet.
Teams are already working on the recovery of that chest you found.
Think we'll get lucky and it'll be the Scries?
I'm allowing myself a glimmer of hope. All the research we did says it's possible.
Alright, that is good. Oh, there you go. I've done this in a while. Very good. Okay. So now, I got one of these, one more of these, and then we can do unravel. So this is going to be Bastion, lower diagram, and upper diagram. Okay. I think I will do Argon's Hearth first. Or probably what I would be doing is this. Well, actually, it also depends on what is around. We got an Arc of the Nova. Okay. And it is upper, lower, Bastion. And we definitely want to go to Arc of the Nova to get an upgrade. So that was a bit of a journey. We did. Did we upgrade that one to already? No. We got, well, there's a couple nice ones out. Running about. That's good. But yeah, in this night now, I'm hoping to continue the main story as well. So that would be going to Argon's Hearth, which is here. Very cool, very cool. This game is so fun, you know? I don't know. I'm gonna finish this episode here. So I think it's a good moment because now a lot of things will happen. I don't know how long the main quest becomes, you know, and probably gonna be a lot of conversations and stuff after that again. And we were doing a lot of talking, which is very good, very good. So yeah, just like and subscribe if you like the video. Do a comment about how big of an asshole the eye is. You know, that's good. You know, positivity here, huh? Also, Team Casmin. Of course. And goodbye.